I swear to ye we shall find your father. Rory squeezed her hand. Ye have me word. Abby began to respond when an eerie sound in the distance interrupted her. She released Rory's hand and stepped close. Did you hear that? She whispered. Rory grabbed his light and pointed it at the ground. Aye, Abby, he replied quietly. Came from that way, he said, pointing in the general direction of the sound with the tip of his sword, which now pulsed red. Abby wondered if the sword reacted to his emotions. As the pair stood silent, a wispy moan, closer this time, sounded from where Rory had pointed. Abby willed her stomach to stay in place as she exchanged nervous glances with her companion before turning off her light. Rory grunted softly and repeated Abby's action. With the only worthwhile light coming from the glow of his sword, Abby felt as if the forest were closing in on them. I've about had it with creepy unknown sounds in this place, and something tells me it's not that stupid deer again. Rory reached his right arm around Abby's shoulders and pulled her flush against his side. He tilted his head and whispered directly into her ear. Be still and make no sound. I sense a great evil nearing us. Abby nodded her head once as shivers danced across her body. Where's my white warrior when we need him? With little faith he would come, Abby called out in her mind with all the mental force she could muster. Finlay, we need you. Moments of silence ticking by, the only sound to fall upon Abby's ears was that of Rory's breathing. Disappointed, but not surprised Finlay did not answer her call, Abby focused on staying as silent as possible. Rory lessened his grip around her shoulders as the silence continued. The glow of his sword seemed to dim comparably. An instant later, a low growl disrupted the stillness. Abby thought it was from a dog, but could not be certain. The growl escalated in intensity and engulfed them. Rory's sword burst into flames. As if in response, the growl evolved into a frightening and ferocious howl. Every hair on Abby's body stood at attention. Abby. Yes? Run! Don't have to tell me twice. Abby turned to her left and pushed through the brush as fast as she could, parting obstacles with both hands. She used the flashlight as best she could to guide her hurried steps, but still stumbled over unseen obstructions. Rory followed close behind, having subdued the flames from his sword. Keep moving, Abby. Do not stop. Abby's heart pounded, and her lungs burned as they continued scrambling through the forest at a fast pace. Oblivious to a downed sapling just in front of her, Abby's foot hooked the slender trunk, and she spilled forward. Oof! She grunted, falling face first to the ground. Rory skidded to a halt and hovered over her, shining his light on her head. Abby! Abby, are you okay? Please be unharmed. She replied, twisting around and pulling herself into a sitting position. She patted her body, brushed debris from her face, and pulled leaves from her hair. I think I'm okay, she groaned, reaching for her light and perking her ears. Twisting her head in all directions, she waved for Rory to crouch beside her. Can you see anything? Is it following us? She whispered. Rory listened intently. When he was sure he could hear no sounds, he motioned for Abby to stand. It appears the beast has lost interest, Abby, but we should keep moving nonetheless. As Abby stood and flicked debris from her jeans, a wispy hiss swirled around the pair. Abby reached out to grab Rory's arm in response. Thieves! A drawn-out, guttural voice whispered, appearing to come from all directions. Abby's grip on Rory's arm tightened. What the... Murderers! The voice continued. Abby scrunched her face in confusion and blurted, I don't know what you think we are, but we are not thieves, and we aren't murderers, so leave us alone.